Hey, welcome to the Tre Stewart program. Thanks for joining us. My co-host is out today, Joe. He's getting a sex change operation. Good for him. Her, excuse me, her. Let's just edit that out. But we got some new subscribers, so thank you to everybody that's here. I want to let you know what this show's about. You're on a journey. We're all on a journey for the truth. And thank you for joining us in our quest for real information. If you're a patriot, welcome. This is a place, it's a safe space for free thinkers. So I welcome you. But if you're a dirty you might want to turn on CNN because this isn't the place for you. All right, we got a good show. Let's get right into it, man. I want to start off by addressing this SignalGate stuff. Unless you've been living under a Dwayne Johnson, you'd know that the Trump administration is in a bit of a pickle because they accidentally texted war plans to a journalist in what many people are calling a perfect group chat. Let's go ahead and play the first clip.
What should Jeffrey Goldberg have done here, like journalistically? How do you see it when you're all of a sudden involved in a Signal chat? What would you do?
Well, here, I'll tell you what I would have done. If somebody inadvertently added me to a group chat or a Signal chat, I would have immediately alerted the other participants in the chat that I was present and asked maybe, what it was going on. Now, Jeffrey Goldberg apparently thought that somebody was trying to play a hoax on him, and he was there monitoring it because maybe it was Russian disinformation or one of these conspiracies that the media love to obsess about. But I mean,
that is great. That is what I love to see. Classic victim blaming. They could just take responsibility and say, yo, my bad. But they doubled down and they said, hey, it's actually the journalist's fault. Fuck that guy. I love that. America's back. Listen, this is what we call in the political biz an oopsie daisy. That's that's a technical term, oopsie daisy. You text plans to people who weren't supposed to get that. But I think this just goes to show you that you should never be in a group chat, right? Don't you think so?
Yeah, I think the problem with group chats, it just always fucks everyone over in the long term. You're just going to end up releasing shit.
Exactly.
Tweeting dick pics you didn't mean to, war plans.
Exactly. You're sending it. Who among us has not sent a accidental dick pic to a woman? This is exactly what's going on. You text war plans. No one is above a mistake. This is all that was. This is why I stay out of it. I don't text anybody anything ever because I don't have any friends. But if I did, I wouldn't have a group chat. I definitely wouldn't do that. This is a fumble, though, in a otherwise perfect administration. It's not the best thing that happened, but it's not that bad. It's not a big deal. The media wants you to believe that this is the biggest deal ever. That it's a threat to national security is what they're saying. But nobody cares. And in fact, regular Americans see through the bullshit. Let's go to the next. I think it might be 8-2.
If he were merit-based, then woke is something he would celebrate.
Huh? How is woke merit-based? Did you hear about the cold classified information leak this week?
Yeah, I think it's a bunch of crap.
It's not a big thing. Get over it.
Something leaked. All of us have texted somebody and put the wrong person on the text.
Mm-hmm. Happens.
Okay, yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, the whole thing. Cut it. The shit. Cut it. Shit happens. That is very eloquently put. Shit happens. What are you gonna do? Life moves on. Also, let me say this. This is what the people voted for. Let's remember Trump has a mandate to do whatever he wants. All right. No one voted for Trump because he was perfect or because he was going to follow the rules. We voted for him because we love chaos. And also we hate women. Mostly it's the women thing, but the chaos, it played a part in it. And America would rather have somebody make the wrong mistake in a bold way then the right choice, a quiet way. Like that's what we are as a country, you know. And American people can understand this. Accidents happen. You know, it's like my ex barber used to say to me right after a haircut. Sometimes niggas make mistakes. And he was right. Sometimes we all make mistakes. It's a bit of a fumble. But you know what, everyone, I'll say that this is a good faith area to critique the administration. You know, I'm in favor of good faith critiques, you know. But I'll tell you what I'm not in favor. I don't want to hear. The last person that we should hear from is Hillary Clinton. Hillary's back. I don't know if you've seen her. She's taking a break from unaliving whistleblowers to give her thoughts on the SignalGate.
If there was anyone other than Hillary Clinton, they would be in jail right now.
Nobody is above the law, not even Hillary Clinton, even though she thinks she is.
Mishandling classified information is still a violation of the Espionage Act.
When you have the Clinton emails, on top of the fact that the sitting president of the United States admitted he had documents in his garage, or they didn't prosecute, they didn't go after these folks.
Hillary Clinton responded tonight with this: "You have got to be kidding me."
All right. Okay. So there it is. The Hillary is back. You know, because, you know, whenever America needs a moral conscience, we turn to the Clintons. Listen, no one. All right, just sit down. No one cares about Hillary. Why are we listening to Hillary? Okay. She literally murdered people. Probably. Allegedly. We don't know. But we do. But we don't know. But we know. To be fair to Hillary, though, the same people that are saying this SignalGate is a nothing burger are some of the same ones involved in this. You know, like Tulsi Gabbard, she tweeted about classified info being leaked. She said that it was a war crime or something like, let's throw it. Yes, an unauthorized release of classified information is a violation of the law and will be treated as such. So that's what Tulsi said. But that was before she was a part of the Trump administration. Now it's a bit of a oopsie daisy. And listen, I think Tulsi is a perfect example of you either die a hero or live long enough to accidentally tweet war plans to a journalist. I think that's a good it's a good lesson for us all. And you know what? I think it's bad, but I also want to say that this is mostly a distraction. Let's be honest. Now we're going to get down to the real topics, the most pressing matters. This is just a distraction to distract us from the fact that they turned Snow White into a Mexican. This is real shit. Like Snow White came out. Let's show Deadline article. Snow White. 143 global after second. Okay, so working man. So let's go down to see what it's saying. It's not doing great. I just want to say first illegals came and they took our jobs. Now they're taking our Disney princesses. Also, shout out to Working Man, my man Jason Statham. You a Jason Statham fan?
I like Jason Statham. I mean, he does the same character in every movie.
It is the same.
You're watching for like a I think he has in his contract that he can't lose in a fight. Him and Dwayne.
Oh, that's great. That's so funny. Yeah.
Never seen him lose in a fight. I think it's literally, and they won't do a movie if they lose.
That's so funny. Yeah, it's like also it's like sometimes that takes away the I think the urgency. It's like, oh, sometimes you lose a couple fights. I think it makes the story better. But I will say that Jason Statham, sometimes you want to see a white man win.
Yeah, we don't get enough wins.
We don't get enough wins for white men. And you know what? I'm standing up for you guys. I'm standing up for white, straight men in America. Go see a working man. Don't see Snow White. See a white man beat people down. Another thing, too, it's called Working Man. Isn't that the greatest, that just perfectly sums up his whole career. Where he always plays like a blue collar guy, right? Like he's a beekeeper.
Yeah, like a mechanic that knows how to fight. Like he just is. It's always some bullshit. He's never like an eloquent job.
No, I do. I want to see him do a corporate job. I want to see Jason Statham is the product manager.
Yeah, I want him cold calling people, selling medicine.
Hey, do you like your medical subscriber? Nah, like the whole movie is just him doing normal shit. Like,
yeah, getting groceries.
he's in Whole Foods. Like, you've seen him fight the mafia. Now see him fight high cholesterol. He's like, look, reading. Oh.
What do you mean bags of 10 cents?
Yeah, I want to see that. That's what America needs. We don't need this fucking Latina bitch trying to be Snow White. Also, the name White, it's in the title. It's in the Snow White. That'd be like Brad Pitt playing Black Panther.
Yeah. It's also this is the movie that got the she's like either super pro Palestine and then her co-star is pro Israel because Gal Gadot I think fought in the Israeli military.
Ooh.
So like I don't know if we've ever had two co-stars that were she's openly tweeting like fuck Palestine and the other one's like no, Palestine rocks.
That's great. That's an interesting thing. I think we found the new odd couple because everyone likes remakes. Let's put a pro-Palestine person with a Zionist, make them share apartments, and I think I think we found a hit. I'd rather see that than Snow White. Honestly, I'd rather see Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler, I think is her name. I'd rather see them in a room than this movie because it's kind of silly. But I do want to see this though. Not only I want to highlight, not only did they try to replace Snow White with a minority, but they chose like the most annoying person ever. Like, let's go to this is a clip of Rachel talking.
I know that you've told me before that your version of Snow White is different and it's more of a 2022 version of Snow White. What did you mean by that?
I mean, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Yeah. Weird. Super weird. So we didn't do that this time.
Oh my goodness, that is weird. It's a little weird. You know what else is weird? It's not doing great. That's a great way to promote the movie that you want people to come see it, but you're insulting the main audience. It's a shame. I mean, Snow White is bombing so bad, Palestinians are praying for Disney. If you're a Disney exec, it gets better. I will say, I hate to admit this though, but Rachel has a point, right? Like if you look at a lot of Disney movies, a lot of them on the surface they seem like normal kids movies, but if you dig in a little deeper, you'll find some very problematic themes. I just want to point out a couple weird Disney movies. Here's a list of just like really sick themes when you think about it. Beauty and the Beast, you ever?
That's my girl's favorite movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, shit on it.
I mean, I'm just saying it's about a woman that falls in love with her captor. It's what is it? Stockholm Syndrome?
Yeah. You start to like the person who's holding you hostage.
It's a movie about Stockholm Syndrome. That's like not a good. Also, she falls in love with him while he's not human. Bestiality much? I mean, come on, man. This is the sick mind that Disney is. He wraps really, really sick things into kids' movies. Sleeping Beauty, another one about a girl, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty. A guy's kissing a woman while she's asleep without her consent. It's a little weird. Bill Cosby called it the feel-good movie of the year. Robin Hood is another one. Robin Hood, you steal from innocent poor people to give it to dirty. You steal from innocent rich people to give it to dirty poor people. That's communism. That's like literally communism. And it goes against God. It's blasphemy. If God wanted poor people to have money, I think we can all agree on this, he would have given them rich parents. I mean, come on. That's just slap in the face to God, Another one, Pinocchio. Pinocchio is a weird one where it's like a guy brings a doll to life. That's Satanism. This is the occult.
They sell kids into slavery, into the salt mines. That's what the donkey kids do. They go to the Bad Island and they make them work and haul salt, I think.
Child slavery, child labor. It's like this. It's sacrificing children. That's Pinocchio. I didn't even realize that's such a dark thing. And it's supposed to be like a happy kids movie. They're just trying to brainwash your kids into worshiping Satan. Let's just call it what it is. Another one, The Princess Diaries. That's actually a good movie. I just like talking about how good that movie is. Princess Diaries is great. I got nothing wrong with that, right? It's pretty good. But the other ones are just pure evil, But that's enough of that. Enough of the dark stuff. I want to pivot to some fun news. Trump declares he's looking into a third term. Let's go to...
Tonight, President Trump reportedly says he's considering ways to serve a third term, a move that would require breaching the two-term limit outlined in the Constitution. The president telling NBC's Kristen Welker, quote, "There are methods which you could do it," when asked to clarify, saying, "I'm not joking," later adding, "It's far too early to think about it." But the president and his allies have been floating the idea for months.
I've raised a lot of money for the next race that I assume I can't use for myself, but I'm not 100% sure.
Why is he standing like that?
I don't know. I think I'm not allowed to run again. I'm not sure. Am I allowed to run again?
Amending the Constitution for Trump to run a third term would be extremely difficult. First requiring 2/3 approval by Congress and then ratification by 38 states.
Let him cook.
With the president now just days away from imposing tariffs on foreign cars and auto parts, Trump now threatening even more on Russian oil.
Okay, so here's the thing. He's clearly just joking, right? And I know people go, "Oh, well, Trump said he literally said he's not joking." That's a part of the joke. You don't understand. I love a good bit. Okay, right? Who doesn't love a good bit? Trump is staying in the pocket. That's all. He says crazy stuff. Then he says he's not joking. But it's all a part of this. He's a master troll, Trump. Trump is a lot like those scarabs from the movie The Mummy, the original Mummy, where he really knows how to get under your skin. A great cultural reference, the scarabs from The Mummy. But that's what Trump is, man. I don't know. And people say, "Oh, he can't do it. It would go against the Constitution." First of all, when has this guy cared about the Constitution? When is we see that Trump is doing whatever he wants? He doesn't play by the rules. Okay? That's what I feel like Democrats, the reason they suck is because they're too busy playing by the rules, right? Like they are so busy like, "Oh, he can't do that. It's against the constitutional law." But Trump doesn't care. No one voted for Trump for him to play by the rules. We voted for him so he could blow shit up. And I think the more Democrats try, instead of trying to complain that he's not playing by the rules, they should get with the program, adapt to the new system, right? Like, instead of saying that, if I was a Democrat elite person, instead of getting mad at Trump, I'd be like, all right, bet Obama third term, let's like run it back. That is, I think, what the people need. That's what the people want. Obama versus Trump. Maybe Bernie runs as president, Obama is his VP, up against JD as president, and Trump, who will be, how old will he even be at that point? I mean, he's obviously trolling because he's like, he's gonna die. Yeah, those Beatles. Yeah, the scarab. Yeah, he's 78, so he's gonna fucking be, I don't know, 100 or something. I'm not good with math, but he's gonna be older than Biden. People who got mad, I love the fact that people got mad at how Biden's too old, but then now when Trump is like, I might run for another term, they're like, yeah. It really shows you that the whole Biden thing wasn't about age. It was more that he just was he was terrible. It's like, Biden was dead, essentially. It's actually not about age. Dems keep playing by the rules, and they're going to keep losing. Trump makes his own rules. He doesn't care about the Constitution. Also, according to the Supreme Court, if the president does it, it is legal. Let's pull up the article, the ACLU. If the Supreme Court said this, what did they say? Washington. Yeah, the Supreme Court today ruled that former President Trump is at least presumptively immune from criminal liability for his official acts, absolute immunity for a core of them, including his attempts to use the Justice Department to obstruct the results of the election. So there it is. There it is. If you do it, if you're the president, then you can do whatever you want. So if Trump decides to run for a third term as president, technically he's not breaking the constitutional law. But also, who cares? The Constitution is more like a suggestion. Nobody cares anymore. You know what I mean? Like the Constitution to me is a lot like lava lamps. It's just a fad, you know, and we are slowly moving past it as a society.
I just bought a lava lamp like a month ago.
You're bringing it back. You're holding the line of lava lamps.
Yeah. They're on the rise.
They are. They're back just on the lava lamps and fascism
And third terms.
And third terms. Back. You know what else is just a fad? Freedom of speech. Just a fad. You know, here today, gone tomorrow. This is what they're doing now. They are apparently not everyone is protected by freedom of speech. They're rounding up student protesters that ICE is finding these people and grabbing them, like the scene from the movie Old School, where they were rounding up the people that made it in. Just fucking Will Ferrell just throws you into a unmarked van. That's what they're doing. Although, by the way, who wouldn't love to see ICE starring Will Ferrell? Just him rounding up, wearing a too short shirt, just getting minorities. But no, I think this is kind of this is a gray area too, because they're arresting people. Let's go to this, the clip of them arresting.
And actually any record of anything that the guy has done. And like you said, the other one just attended a protest. This was, again, I need to talk philosophically here. Do you see the number of agents who are involved in arresting this lady? We don't have better things to do here? I mean, look, I know you disagree. I know you disagree, Ryan, but I want to see those people applied to people who are in the country illegally, right? Because that's what, quote, mass deportation was supposed to be about. Last time I checked, not, facilitating the arrests of some student, PhD student. Look, fine. I mean, this is where you and I have a disagreement probably. Like, I do think people who are here in the country on student visas and all that, you should be a little careful. Okay, I'm not saying you don't have rights and all that, but, listen, just philosophically, when I go to authoritarian countries or other countries, like, I don't mouth off about whatever, when I'm in China,
pause it right there. He's absolutely right. Stop mouthing off. All right. Here's the thing, man. If you're in this country and you're like a guest, right? And so to come over here, you are a guest in our house, which is America. You don't have the same rights. Like, you come over to my house, you try to use my bathroom. You don't get to use my bathroom. You use the guest bathroom. Fuck you. You're not going to take a shit where I take a shit. That's how I feel about immigrants. You don't get freedom of speech. You can't use whatever bathroom you want. Just be on your best behavior. But that's a great point, man. Like, Sagar, this is a great guy. But he's right. You can't just go around running your mouth off and people go, well, what about freedom of speech? Freedom of speech does not apply to immigrants. All right. And let's be very specific. They weren't just saying anything. These people, I know they weren't, they have no criminal record and they're not actually being accused of anything, but you could say that they committed the biggest crime of all, critiquing Israel. You cannot critique Israel, man. Israel is like our friend. Not like they are our friend. It's America's friend. You don't go around bad mouthing your boy. That's not right. Right? I mean, come on. You don't talk about your friends, right?
Never would.
You can't. And look, I try to never get personal on this show, but I'm going to break that rule right now to make a point. I have one of my closest friends. His name is Hassan Ahmad. Let's pull up a picture of Hassan. There he is. He's a good guy, that guy.
Great
Hassan is I'd take a bullet for this guy. And now if I found out that Hassan was going around murdering Palestinian kids, you know what I would say? Not a goddamn thing. I'd shut up. I wouldn't be great. I wouldn't be happy about that, but I would just shut up. Because you don't bad mouth your friends in public, okay? I'd probably find Hassan, pull him to the side, be like, hey, man, what's with all the bombing innocent kids? You might want to stop that, man. That's not chill, as the kids say. But I wouldn't get on TV or tweet about him. You know, that's not how you treat friends, man. We can't treat BB like this. He's been our friend for a while, man. Just shut up. You can't critique friends. You know who's a good friend? Candace Owens. She's actually, say what you will about Candace, but she's a good friend. Let's pull up this clip of her being a great friend.
Good to have you on. So much to talk to you about. I want to start with Ye, Kanye West. You know, I've got to say, personally, I know that you've had a good relationship with him. You've talked to him and so on, as I have done. I interviewed him, tried to give him a bit of benefit of the doubt over various things. I got to say, his sort of brazen stuff now on a daily, sometimes minute-by-minute basis on X with the swastikas, the Nazis, and so on. I just find it utterly repellent. Has anything he's been doing in the last 2-3 weeks changed your mind about what's going on here with him?
Okay, so first I just want to say that I definitely told your producers that I didn't want to speak about Ye, but it's totally fine if you want to ask me the question.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know that. Well, that wasn't communicated to me,
Yeah.
but if you don't mind, I'd just be curious about your view.
Yeah, sure. So my view has been pretty consistent in that when you have a real relationship with someone, you shouldn't be lashing them in the public for anything. There's something about the entire world having commentary about Kanye when he tweets, and that exact same part of the world telling us that we have to remain mum when Bibi Netanyahu literally goes DEFCON 3, but Kanye tweets something about DEFCON 3. That just makes me uncomfortable and feels really disingenuous. And like I said, when you have an actual relationship with someone, if you have anything to say to them, you should say that to that person directly. And so I'm just not going to partake in this sort of like Judas culture of stabbing people in the front when you have a real relationship with them. And I've maintained that consistently.
That's perfect.
And
So we can stop. That's in that. So I first of all, she phrased it so eloquently. I'm gonna use that the next time somebody asks me, hey, so let's do a little, let's practice. Ask me what I think about Israeli government bombing innocent civilians.
What do you, Trey? What do you think about Israeli bombing just innocent people and students?
I will not participate in Judas culture. You see how easy that was?
Yeah,
it's like,
I didn't want to ask a follow-up.
There it is. That's it. I won't do it. BB is our friend. All right. We say that. We say stuff to our friends' faces, not to fucking Piers Morgan. You know. Yeah, Hassan. Let's one more pick. If we can throw off our good buddy Hassan. Go follow his pod. They got a fun stuff going on. The Solid Show. Yeah, and again, if Hassan started murdering babies, I wouldn't be happy about it, but, you know, I'd be like, hey, cut that out, you know. But that's my response. If Candace Owens can support Ye, a literal Nazi, we can support BB. That's my stance, you know. I can't wait to use that. Like, hey, man, my name is Bennett. I ain't in it. Call me Switzerland because it's all neutral over here. Oh, okay. Let's get to the next topic. Now I want to talk about a very controversial thing. Whistleblowers. First, let's define what a whistleblower is. A whistleblower is an individual who reports wrongdoing or illegal activities within an organization. So, other words, a real buzzkill. You know, listen, I'm tired of all these Debbie Downers complaining about the corrupt stuff that a corporation is doing. I don't want to hear about it. Okay, I got stuff to do, right? Like, you know, there's only so many hours in the day, right? I mean, you can't keep abreast of every corrupt thing people are doing. I still haven't seen White Lotus. I hear it's pretty good. Have you seen?
Haven't seen White Lotus.
We're
the minority.
We're the minority. Yeah. That's why I gotta watch White Lotus. I cannot keep track of who Elon's firing and all this stuff and whistleblowers dying. It's sad, but maybe you should have kept your mouth shut. Maybe don't say everything you see. But the OpenAI whistleblower is actually kind of sad. But again, it's like, hey man, when you see something, you don't always have to say something. Before you say something and speak out, think of your parents. Think of how sad people will be at your funeral. It's like, I don't want to die, so I'm not saying anything. You know, it is. Isn't it alarming though how having damaging information to powerful people can make you have a strong case of shooting yourself in the back of the head? It's an epidemic, really. I think RFK Jr., we need to investigate that. Investigate vaccines and investigate why is it that whistleblowers unanimously get a bad case of unaliving themselves. Let's cut to the parents. This clip.
New forensic findings have just been released in the death of Suchir Balaji, a whistleblower against OpenAI. Police have ruled his death a suicide, but new evidence just uncovered tells a very different story. A drugging, a possible second bullet, and alleged negligence on the part of the SFPD. On November 26, 2024, Suchir Balaji, a 26-year-old former researcher at OpenAI, was found deceased in his San Francisco apartment. Balaji first joined Sam Altman's OpenAI in 2020, but over time he became concerned about the company's use of copyrighted material in training its AI models. In October of 2024, in a scathing New York Times expose, Balaji publicly accused OpenAI of violating U.S. copyright laws. Then 2 months later, he was found dead. The city's medical examiner determined the cause of death to be a suicide with no evidence of foul play.
There it is. Okay, so there it is. It's very sad, but also, no one likes a tattletale. You know what I mean? It's like you cannot. Just some stuff, don't talk about it. Again, this guy's parents are so sad. Had he just thought about like, hey, maybe I should keep this in myself, he'd still be alive. You know, you cannot go around telling on people. It's really sad, but it's interesting that he made plans though. That's what makes this kind of a little suspicious, a little sus, is who makes plans if you're going to unalive yourself. Right? I mean, would you, if you were going to unalive yourself, would you make plans with a loved one?
No.
Of course.
It's a private event. Light some candles, get a bath running.
Exactly.
Grab
the
toaster.
It's sacred. Yeah. It's a very personal thing, deciding to end it all. And I feel like, it's not spontaneous. That's what makes this kind of weird. That's what makes it clear that he was murdered. It's like, he didn't just on a whim. Unaliving yourself isn't like buying a lighter. It's not like you at a store and you think, oh, let me just end my existence. It's very thought out. And this guy was saying a lot of real points that we see now with AI, talking about copyright issues. And we're seeing what this guy was warning with the Spirited Away memes. We see the Studio Ghibli, I don't know how to say it, but we've all seen these memes. I guess you can pull up an example. Okay, so that's okay. So that's you know what? Do we have another example? Because that's probably not the best one to use.
Yeah, I got you. Here you go.
But so these memes, we've seen these. Oh, okay. All right. You know what? I'm gonna have to look at these memes. But why would you do this, man?
I thought it was important cultural moments everyone would relate to. Everyone knows these moments. Where were you type moment.
All right. So this is both beautiful and disturbing. So all right, let's get this out of here. But so those are the kind of memes that we're seeing from AI. And look, it's a problem. All right. We all know that the copyright laws are getting out of hand. But I think it's best that we just ignore it. You know what I mean? Because, you don't always need to do the right thing and warn people about what's coming ahead. Had this guy, the whistleblower, just kept his mouth shut, we'd still be in the same place, but he'd be alive. This is why you never see me doing the right thing. I won't do it because I like living. You know what I mean? Whenever I stumble upon corruption, I just look the other way. Because it's none of my concern. You know what I mean? It's not my business. None of my business. Everybody's posting stuff on Instagram. Here's what I'm eating. Well, see, that's the problem. Society's all up in each other's business. You know, here's what I'm eating. Here's what I'm thinking. Here's what AI is doing behind closed doors. Hey, you ever think about this? Maybe those doors are closed for a reason. Don't open it or you might get shot. I mean, yeah, that's what happened to Kennedy. Not a lot of people know this. There's a lot of things that killed JFK, but I think there's a lot of factors that led to JFK's death. But I think the number one thing that killed Kennedy was his curiosity. And also the Jews. It's probably mostly the Jews. I'm kidding. There's a joke. While jokes are still legal, I want to make that. Speaking of Jews, you know, Ben Shapiro has an interesting take on JFK's assassination. Let's check it out.
Theorizing that's become incredibly popular on the right these days. It was popular on the left, and now it's become increasingly popular on the right. The kind of, let's just ask questions. We'll ask who really killed JFK? Wink, wink, nod, nod. And then you're like, well, do you have any evidence of the thing that you are presupposing? Well, no, I'm not making any accusations. I just know I don't believe the story that I'm being told. I know not to trust the authorities. Like, well, that's fine, but do you have like any evidence? Like evidence, not just supposition. I said, well, you're part of it, aren't you? Yes, you're part of it. The reason that you're so defensive about all this is, I don't care who killed JFK. I mean, I do, because it's really interesting. But I noticed that the calendar says 2025, and he was killed in 1963. And so my opinion about who killed JFK has about as much relevance as who killed William McKinley, or James Garfield, which is to say, not an enormous amount.
Okay. Well, there it is. You know, that's an interesting take. That is a take for sure. I'll say this. I love how he's treating the death of a president, you know, as it's a curious. He said he's curious. Oh, I'm curious. I'm kind of interested. I mean, it's intriguing. You know, I'm kind of interested in that. But it happened a long time ago. So why are people asking questions? You know, Ben, by that logic, the Holocaust happened a long time ago. Why are we bringing that up? We should stop bringing up old shit, right? I just don't understand what the difference is between the Holocaust and JFK. It's like they both happened in the past. How come one is okay to bring up, but JFK, who killed him? I just stop asking questions. I kind of understand what Ben is coming from with the sense of there's just blatant anti-Semitism that's wrapped around just asking questions, bruh. I understand that, but a good defense of against that is not, well, who cares who killed JFK? Like, that's not a good, that makes me think you got something to do with it, bro. It's like, could you be more of a CIA plant at that point? Who cares? It happened a long time ago. It's a done deal. It doesn't matter who killed JFK. Oh, the president was shot. Same thing with Trump. It's like no one wants to investigate why the guy that shot at Trump didn't have any silverware, and how was he allowed to even get up on that roof? Hey, let's stop asking questions. I bet you Ben wants to investigate that. It just doesn't make any sense, you know. But I understand that, you know, when it comes to conspiracies, you ever notice this? No matter what the conspiracy is, all roads lead back to the Jews. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be the moon landing. And it'd be like, oh, you see the moon landing? If you zoom in the background, you can see the Star David on the moon. It's like, really? I don't really understand that. It's kind of like somehow Jews are always attached to conspiracies. Like, the Jewish people are kind of like the Forrest Gump of conspiracies, but they just somehow are a part of everyone. But I don't understand Ben's point, you know. Like, if you want somebody to not think that Jews had anything to do with JFK, you should be like, it's important. We should find out what happened to him, but we didn't have anything to do. You should not be like, who cares? You know what I mean? No one cares. It doesn't make any sense. Right? Like, I mean, what do you think? Like, I didn't think that Jewish people had anything to do with JFK, but I do now.
Yeah, it makes it more. I mean, I didn't think Lee Harvey Oswald was like a Jewish name, but now it's got me thinking.
Now we got to look into it. But that's another thing, too. It's like there's so much mystery and intrigue wrapped around in the JFK assassination. Ben's take was such a one that lacks curiosity, just regular curiosity. Lee Harvey Oswald, this guy killed the president and then went to what they called him at the movies, right?
Yeah.
So who kills the president then goes to see Pink Panther? It's just it's like that to-do list. 1, murder the strongest, murder the most important person in the world. 2, catch a matinee. What are you talking about? It's like, how are you not? Same thing with Luigi. It's like Luigi killed that guy allegedly. We don't have any proof. And then went to McDonald's. It's like, I don't know. Just asking questions. Well, that's our show for today. And remember, we're just asking questions. Thank you for joining us. If you are a true patriot, again, like, subscribe, share this to everyone. And yeah, we'll join you next time in our search for the truth.